You worked for 40 years. You paid your taxes, you followed the rules, and you were promised that when you finally hung up your boots, you would be taken care of. But in 2026, the math is broken. The average Social Security check in America is just over $1,700. The average rent for a one-bedroom apartment? It's nearly $2,000. Do the math. You are in the red before you even buy a loaf of bread. This is the retirement crisis. Millions of baby boomers and Gen Xers are facing a terrifying reality. They have to keep working until they drop just to keep the lights on. The cost of living crisis has stolen their golden years. But what if I told you there is an escape hatch? Because we have analyzed the entire United States map to find the safe havens. We found 10 specific towns where the average cost of living, including rent, food, and utilities, is under $1,800 a month. These are places with safe neighborhoods, good hospitals, and most importantly, zero state tax on your Social Security check. From the tropical borders of the South to the hidden mountain gems of the Appalachians, we're counting down the top 10 dirt-cheap towns where you can retire right now without $1 million in the bank. You don't have to be rich to retire. You just have to move. Let's start the countdown. Number 10, Wichita Falls, Texas. When people think of Texas, they think of the traffic in Austin or the humidity in Houston. But about 2 hours northwest of Dallas lies a hidden fortress of affordability, Wichita Falls. This is a place where the housing market crash of 2026 simply didn't happen because prices never got high enough to crash. You can buy a solid 3-bedroom brick home here for just $165,000. If you put 20% down, your mortgage is around $900 a month. That leaves you half your Social Security for food, travel, and fun. Prefer to rent? A nice 1-bedroom apartment goes for $850. Compare that to Dallas, where you'd pay double. But Wichita Falls isn't just cheap housing. It has a vibe. It's a military town, home to Shepherd Air Force Base. That means the economy is stable, the community is patriotic, and the healthcare system is robust because it has to support veterans. But here is the Texas trap you need to know about. Texas has no state income tax, which is great for your pension. However, they make up for it with high property taxes. If you buy a house here, be prepared for a higher annual tax bill than you might expect. But because the home value is so low, the total dollar amount is still manageable for most seniors. The climate is hot. If you hate snow and ice, you'll love it here. But if you can't handle a 100-degree summer day, keep watching, because number 9 might be more your speed. Number 9, Roanoke, Virginia. They call this the Magic City of the Blue Ridge, and if you love mountains but hate isolation, this is your paradise. Unlike the Rockies in Colorado, where a shack costs $1 million, the Appalachians are still the last frontier of affordable mountain living. In Roanoke, the median home price is $240,000. You're getting 4 distinct seasons, stunning fall foliage, and world-class hiking trails right in your backyard. But for retirees, scenery isn't enough. You need doctors. Roanoke is the healthcare hub of Western Virginia, anchored by the massive Carilion Clinic system. You have top-tier specialists without having to drive 3 hours to a major metro. Can you live here on Social Security? Yes, but it's tighter. Rent averages $1,050. That leaves you about $750 for everything else. It is doable, especially if you're a couple with 2 checks. But for a single person, you need to budget carefully. Virginia does not tax Social Security benefits. However, unlike some of the other states on this list, they do tax other forms of retirement income, like 401ks, though you can deduct up to $12,000. If you want mountain views without the Colorado price tag, Roanoke is the winner. Number 8. Fort Smith, Arkansas. This is the gateway to the Ozarks. Fort Smith sits right on the Oklahoma border, wrapped around the Arkansas River. It feels like a town from a classic Western movie, because it is. This is where the movie True Grit was set. It has a rich history of lawmen and outlaws. But today, the only thing being robbed is the high cost of living. Fort Smith is shockingly cheap. The median home price is just $175,000. That is 55% cheaper than the national average. Imagine having a mortgage of just $800 a month. Even with a single Social Security check of $1,800, you have $1,000 left over every month. That is financial freedom. That is the ability to eat out, buy gifts for the grandkids, and actually enjoy life. Arkansas gets a bad rap, but for seniors, it is a tax haven. Social Security is completely tax-free, and property taxes are significantly lower than in neighboring Texas. So, what's the catch? Why isn't everyone moving here? Weather. Fort Smith gets hot, humid summers, and it sits squarely in Tornado Alley. You need a storm shelter, and you need to be prepared for severe weather in the spring. But if you can handle the storms, your wallet will thank you every single day. Now we're moving south to a state that is quietly becoming the #1 retirement destination in the country. Number 7. Augusta, Georgia. You probably know Augusta for one thing, the Masters. Once a year, the richest people in the world descend on this city for golf. But for the other 51 weeks of the year, Augusta is a blue-collar, affordable haven for retirees. The median home price here is $185,000. You can find beautiful single-level brick ranch homes perfect for aging in place for under $200 grand. But the real secret weapon of Augusta is the Georgia tax code. Georgia is arguably the most tax-friendly state for retirees on this entire list. Not only is Social Security tax-free, but if you are over 65, you get a massive deduction on other retirement income up to $65,000 per person. That means a retired couple in Augusta could earn over $130,000 from pensions and 401ks and pay zero state income tax. That's a game changer. Plus, Augusta is a medical hub. It's home to the Medical College of Georgia. You have world-class doctors and hospitals right down the street, which becomes more important with every passing birthday. The downside is, it's the Deep South. The summers are sticky, hot, and full of bugs. But if you want mild winters where you never have to shovel snow again, Augusta is a top contender. Now we're going to the absolute cheapest option on this list, a place for the true bargain hunter. Number 6. Youngstown, Ohio. If your budget is tight, I mean really tight, Youngstown is your answer. This is the dirt cheap winner of our list. The median home price here is $115,000. No, that is not a typo. You can buy a fully renovated 3-bedroom house in a decent neighborhood for the price of a luxury car. If you sell your house in New York or California, you could buy a house in Youngstown with cash and still have hundreds of thousands left in the bank. Youngstown was ground zero for the Rust Belt decline. It lost half its population when the steel mills closed. But that exodus left behind a surplus of housing and infrastructure. Today, it's quiet. There's zero traffic, it's halfway between Cleveland and Pittsburgh, so you're just an hour away from big city amenities, NFL games, and international airports. The trade-off is the weather. It's Ohio. The winters are gray, cold, and snowy, and the taxes on retirement income are not as friendly as Georgia or Mississippi. But when your mortgage is only $600 a month, you can afford to fly to Florida for 2 weeks in January to escape the cold. Youngstown is cheap, but it's cold. Number 5. Florence, Alabama. Welcome to the Shoals. This is a hidden gem tucked away in the northwest corner of Alabama, right on the banks of the Tennessee River. If you want the water lifestyle, fishing, boating, and mild winters, but you can't afford the skyrocketing insurance rates of Florida, Florence is your answer. It is rapidly becoming known as the new Florida for retirees on a budget. The median home price here is a very reasonable $210,000. That is 45% cheaper than the US national average. For that price, you aren't getting a fixer-upper, you are getting a move-in ready home in a safe, quiet neighborhood. But Florence isn't just a cheap river town, it has a soul. This area, known as Muscle Shoals, is legendary in the music industry. Aretha Franklin, the Rolling Stones, and countless others recorded hit songs here. The downtown is vibrant, filled with local restaurants, music venues, and a strong sense of community. It feels alive, not like a retirement home. And the tax situation? Alabama is a dream for retirees. Social Security is completely exempt from state income taxes, and if you have a defined benefit pension, that is often tax-free as well. Property taxes are also among the lowest in the nation. The only real downside is the state sales tax, which does apply to groceries, so your checkout bill might be a few dollars higher, but compared to what you save on housing and income tax, it's a tiny price to pay for riverfront living. Number 4 takes us west to a city that is literally paying people to move there. Number 4, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Tulsa was built on oil money, and you can still see the Art Deco architecture and massive parks from its glory days. But today, Tulsa is reinventing itself for the future. Let's address the elephant in the room, the Tulsa Remote Program. If you are a remote worker or even a retiree with a side hustle that can be done online, the city of Tulsa will literally pay you $10,000 in cash just to move there. They want to attract new talent and fresh money, and they're willing to write a check to do it. But even without the $10,000 bribe, Tulsa is incredibly cheap. The median home price is $220,000. Rent for a nice one-bedroom is under $1,000 a month. It's a major city with an international airport, an excellent healthcare system, and a surprisingly good food scene, all for the price of a small rural town. Oklahoma is highly tax-friendly for retirees. Social Security is tax-free, and you get a $10,000 deduction on other retirement income. The major negative is you're sitting right in the middle of Tornado Alley. The weather here is serious business. You need insurance, you need a plan, and you need to be okay with extreme heat in the summer. If you can handle the storms, Tulsa offers an unbeatable urban lifestyle on a Social Security budget. Number 3, Kingsport, Tennessee. Nestled in the foothills of the Smoky Mountains, Kingsport is part of the Tri-Cities region. It's green, it's gorgeous, and it's dirt cheap. The median home price is $225,000. This is 40% cheaper than the national average. But you aren't sacrificing quality of life. Kingsport has 4 distinct, mild seasons. You get a beautiful fall, a snowy but manageable winter, and endless opportunities for hiking, fishing, and outdoor recreation. Tennessee is famous for having no state income tax. None. Your Social Security, your pension, your 401k withdrawals, your part-time job, all of it is completely free from state taxation. This makes your fixed income stretch significantly further than it would in states like New York or Illinois. But the catch is Kingsport is not a major metropolis. It has a good hospital system, but if you need highly specialized medical care, you might have to drive to Knoxville or even North Carolina. Shopping and dining options are adequate but limited. And like Alabama, Tennessee has a very high sales tax, often near 9.5%, which eats into your daily budget. But for peace, quiet, and mountain views, Kingsport is a massive win. Number 2, Harlingen, Texas. Welcome to the Rio Grande Valley. Harlingen is located at the very southern tip of Texas, just minutes from the Mexican border and a short drive to the beaches of South Padre Island. This is the ultimate snowbird paradise. The winters here don't exist. January and February are sunny and 70 degrees. You can wear shorts year-round. and the cost of living is astonishingly low. The median home price is just $180,000. That is 53% cheaper than the rest of the country. Rent for a one-bedroom apartment is easily under $800. Texas has zero state income tax, making it a haven for your Social Security check. But remember the Texas trap. Property taxes here are very high. However, because the actual price of the home is under $200,000, your annual tax bill is still going to be much lower than it would be in Austin, Dallas, or anywhere in the Northeast. Harlingen is not for everyone. The summers are brutally hot and humid, and the area does have a higher poverty rate than the national average, which means some infrastructure and amenities might feel dated. But if you want palm trees, cheap tacos, and zero snow on a fixed income, Harlingen is the cheapest warm-weather city in America. And that brings us to number 1, the ultimate safe haven, the place where your Social Security check goes further than anywhere else. Number 1. Gulfport, Mississippi. The Mississippi Gulf Coast is the best-kept secret in retirement. It offers the exact same white sand beaches and warm Gulf of Mexico waters as the Florida Panhandle, but at a fraction of the cost. The median home price in Gulfport is $205,000. You can buy a house just a few miles from the beach for what you would pay for a down payment in Miami. Rent averages $920 a month. Let's look at the math for a single person living on an $1,800 Social Security check. Rent, $920. Groceries, $320. Utilities, $145. Internet and gas, $170. Health out of pocket, $150. Your total monthly expenses, roughly $1,705. You actually have money left over. You can thrive here on a fixed income. But the real reason Gulfport is number 1 is the Mississippi tax code. Mississippi is the holy grail for retirees. They do not tax Social Security. They do not tax pensions. They do not tax 401k withdrawals. All qualified retirement income is 100% tax-free. Your money is completely protected from the state. The catch is it's on the Gulf Coast. You face the same hurricane risk as Florida or Louisiana, so your home insurance will be higher than the national average, and the summers are incredibly humid. But you get beaches, casinos, excellent seafood, and total tax immunity. Gulfport proves that you don't need to be a millionaire to retire by the ocean. The retirement crisis is real. Inflation has stolen the American dream for millions of seniors living in expensive states. But as we've seen today, you have options. You don't have to stay trapped paying $3,000 a month in rent in California or New York. You can move to the Rust Belt, the Ozarks, the Appalachians, or the Gulf Coast and reclaim your financial freedom. So here is my question for you. Would you trade the big city amenities for a quiet, dirt-cheap town in Ohio? Or do you need the warm weather of Texas or Mississippi? Let me know your favorite city on this list in the comments below. If this video helped you plan your escape, hit that subscribe button. We analyze the best and worst places to live in America every single week. I'm the American Exit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.